Hey, how's it going? So, I'm going to tell you some horror stories about my husband being in three separate nursing homes. This would be my first husband and what happened to each of them. I probably could get sued for this video, but I don't really care. I'm getting the word out. I'm telling you what it's really like by putting your loved one in a nursing home, and should you think twice about doing it. So, my first husband got sick in 2001. And I'm going to tell you each nursing home. I'm going to tell you the names of them. I'm going to tell you what happened in each nursing home. So his first nursing home, he was in Monroe Community Hospital, and this was back in 2002. So I'm sure it's been 20 years. I'm praying that they have done some good stuff in there and changed things around. But I got a telephone call at 5:30 in the morning, about 5:30, saying that my husband went to the hospital with chest pains. My husband was in there for MS and brain atrophy. And then about 2 seconds later, I heard somebody say, "You called the wrong Albano." That was my married name. So not only did they call me by mistake when somebody else was going to the hospital, they put my husband's medical log in the ambulance to the hospital with the other person, and the other person could not speak. Okay, so he couldn't say that wasn't them. And then I also got the bill. I did call an attorney about this incident, and they said I couldn't do anything about it. But the other family, if I gave them all the information, they could do something about it. They weren't interested. Okay, so my second one that I transferred him from there because I was not happy, and I moved him closer to where I lived. And that was the Villages of Orleans Health and Rehab Center in Albion, New York. Now, I have to say that he was there prior to, it's now a private nursing home. He was there when it was the state. So my husband in the second nursing home kept getting septic from his catheter. And I felt it was improper care. And so I kept saying, "You people aren't cleaning him right. You're not taking care of him." Of course, they had attitude. And so the last time, I think he had septic 6 times in a year just from the catheter, the poor care with the catheter. So the last time he was in the hospital was in Brockport, New York, and it was attached to a nursing home. So I went over to the nursing home and I said, you've had him on a waiting list for over a year, and he's not going back to the Villages of Orleans. You better find a bed for him. Now, you can look up the Villages of Orleans. There are things on them from during COVID. They got a lot of COVID fines. So I don't know if their care is any better, but this is back, now you're looking at the late 2000s, 2007, 2008. You're looking at when he was in there. But anyway, so then he went to Bikirk, which is in Brockport. And Bikirk is no longer, they sold out to Elderwood, so it is no longer a nursing home. But I loved Bikirk. I raved to everybody about this fantastic nursing home. I loved them, told everybody the best care, and he did get the best care till the hospital closed. Once the hospital closed, things were crazy. People were like quitting their jobs, relocating. People were leaving the nursing home. Everything was going crazy. So I get a phone call. At this point, my first husband was more like in a vegetated state. He was rotated every 2 hours. He never was conscious, nothing. I get a phone call saying that, first of all, I have to tell you, it was a police officer and an administrator from the nursing home. And they said, "Your husband has been sexually fondled by another resident." They told me the resident's name, which I thought they shouldn't have, because of HIPAA, but I'm not too good on HIPAA laws. And they asked me if I wanted to press charges against this other resident. And I'm like, "Are you beeping kidding me? Are you beeping kidding me?" I'm like, Why would I press charges against somebody that has dementia and doesn't know right from wrong? I should be pressing charges against you. You, the one I put my loved one in care. I trust you with this man. And here, what the heck is going on? So I'm just telling you, those are 3 incidents in an 8-year span with 3 different nursing homes. And I was on these people. My daughter said I was such a big B to everybody at the nursing home, and at each one of them, all 3. And I'm like, well, that's because I expect good care, and what the money that these people are getting paid for to take care of my spouse, he should be having excellent care, but he wasn't. So now I want to go and tell you about Tony, because I said I would never, ever, ever place Tony with what was going on with my first husband, with what went on. So in the summertime, my mother moved in, and Tony had a lot of behaviors. And he was threatened to stab her with a knife. He kept threatening to stab her and kill her, and he kept threatening to poison me. So I looked into a nursing home, and this is the one I could probably get in trouble for, but I really don't care. I looked into the Orchard Rehabilitation and Nursing Center in Medina, New York. And I called them in August. I did all the paperwork. I've called them, and I've called them, and I've called them. And don't get me wrong, it's not like they haven't spoken to me. They've just been very vague and not helping me. I got all the paperwork done. The PRI was done. It's now expired. Never heard from them. The last time I called them, I was on hold with the gentleman for 10 minutes. I was on hold. He finally gets to the phone and says, "Can I call you back? I'm in the middle of something. I promise I'll call you back in 5 minutes." Never heard from them. Never, ever. So you're thinking, wow, is this the place that I really want to put my husband in? This is the care I'm going to get? And I'm going to try and upload the phone log to show you how many times I've called them. They never, ever called me back. In the meantime, my mom did move out. I waited a little while. The behavior stopped. Working with the doctors now, working with Alzheimer's Association, trying to get Tony back on track, which it's doing wonderful because I really don't want to place him. But those are the horror stories. So think about it. Think about it. I actually knew people that worked in the villages. I actually know people that work in the Oak Orchard Rehabilitation Center. I know people there, and I still didn't get a response. So you think, oh, I know these people. I know people here. They'll get good care. It ain't happening. It's not happening. So I just want you to, my outcome of this video is research, research, research. Look these places up online. I looked these places up online. I have to say some of them had good reports. Some of them didn't have good reports. I asked people on Facebook, what do you think about these nursing homes? I've had good and bad. It's all, if you have that awful feeling, go with that awful feeling. Really, this is your loved one. Take care of your loved one. So I am excited that you watched my video. I hope that you subscribe. In the future, Tony and I do videos together. I also talk about my feelings, living with somebody with Alzheimer's and dementia. And so subscribe, give me a like. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, leave them in the comments below. I'll research, I'll tell you my feelings, how I feel about this illness. Like I said, it's not my first rodeo, it's now my second rodeo. So thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye.